I'm Matt Marco of the North Oakland Republican Club. Recently, at our September meeting of 2022, we took a look at the proposal for a new transit millage. This millage is very different than what we are currently paying in that it covers only Oakland County and there is no opt-out provision, and it's for residential as well as commercial businesses. We also invited for balance and clarity the group that put this on the ballot, Transit Riders United, but they declined to participate. So who we do hear from is State Senator Ruth Johnson, Supervisor of White Lake Rick Kowal, who is one of the creators of the West Oakland Transit Authority. We've got Forey Millslow of the Deer Lake Athletic Club to give us some perspective of how these millages and these rising costs can affect a business in the area. And we finish up at the very end with the group that is put together to help stop this, a group called Stop Taxing Our Property. And that will be with Shane Trejo. So please welcome State Senator Ruth Johnson.
I looked online today. If you look at these bills and pretend like each pack is worth $100 million, our property taxes will expand more than this. Well, I couldn't bring enough bills to show you because if you look at what they want to increase their budget, which is double, it would be almost a half a mile tall. Forrest Millslow, who owns this place, doesn't have a half mile for me to show you the actual $100 bills that this new tax expansion would include. It is a ton of money. It's not just on our houses. Each household, the average household will be taxed approximately $150 per year to start. $150. And a lot of us, most of us, get no services for that. And that's just the beginning. Is Jim Runstead here? Jim Runstead is a senator. We're the only two Republicans left in Wayne and Oakland County. That's a problem, too. He is a warrior. He and I have fought in the Senate and barely made it. They wanted to raise our millage rate 5 mils, so take 150 times 5. Not only that, but every store, this place. Do you know how many acres we have of farmland? 29,000 acres in Oakland County. People think that northern Oakland County is very wealthy. Actually, my zip code, I just live north of here, is 48442. We're 38% Alice poverty. That's asset limited, income constrained, employed. The working poor. How I grew up with a tin snip and a tomato soup can to put my muffler back together when it was 16 degrees. I get what it's like to barely make it. It is the Alice poverty, and middle class. In middle class right now, they owe an average of $5,611 on their charge card. Just a few blocks from here, 2 days ago, I was offered a charge card from a pharmacy for 29% interest.
What a great deal.
Yeah, what a great deal. Well, the non-smart smart is even a worse deal because it would tax all of us. Larry Obrecht and I made sure that they had the money they need. We have point-to-point buses. But the leadership in Oakland County Board of Commissioners has put our seniors and those with disabilities at risk. They said either you double our budget or we're cutting off every single dollar to busing for seniors, for those with disabilities. It's not right. It's really
diabolical.
Well, diabolical is one word.
Extortion?
It's extortion, thank you. It is extorting money from people with good hearts, which we tend to have as Republicans. We're good-hearted, and that's what they're going around this county and saying in Novi. They said it. Not only that, but they sent out this email, it's like 12 pages long, to every single local community, which will lose local control to the county. Oh, trust us, we're from the government, we're here to help you. They sent this out to every single local elected official, and it's not true. Not true at all. They wrote, I've been asked, what will happen should this Oakland County millage fail? Listed below are a couple facts, non-facts, regarding what will occur beginning January 1st, 2023 and ending January 30th, 2023. SMART will discontinue all services they provide to Oakland County. This includes fixed route, which is the line haul, connector, and ADA. That's our seniors and those that are disabled. They don't even know that the 6 counties here, including this one, already provide that with the money that they have. You know what my township pays? By the way, I'm big part of the 29,000 acres of agriculture. We pay $6,000 and not one person goes without a ride that's a senior citizen or someone disabled, and we don't even ask. We pay $6,000 a year. Do you know how much they're going to charge us? $300,000. $300,000. And if you think you live in some kind of a high-density city, it's going to help you. This is just the beginning. We're now a region, and at the state level, they wanted 5 mills, so do 5 times 150. Think about a place like this, what they'll pay. Think about the agriculture land that we have that they will pay, and get no services. It is a classic case of extortion. It is playing on people's feelings. But I did talk to and got a text from one of the attorneys who actually put all the rules together when we made this. And he said simply, they may not stop services. We have federal and state dollars that pay for half of what goes on in all the busing. And my township and the other 5 pay for it. They may not stop it. That is not true. That is a way to leverage a tax that will become layered with other taxes. As a state senator, they want 5 mills. And I'll tell you what, Jim Runstead is a warrior. He and I worked day and night, weekends, and barely staved that off. So now they can't get that because we're there fighting every minute. So now they're going to you and telling you, if you don't vote for this, you're going to lose senior citizen and buses for those with disabilities. It is untrue. But do you know how many people have good hearts that might go ahead and do this? I think most of us. I want you to know what's going on. I want you to tell your friends. I want you to spread the word. And I also want to call out somebody that went to the same high school I did, Waterford Township High School. He is a county commissioner and a Republican. There's one more Democrat on the county board of commissioners than Republicans. When I was there, it was 18 Republicans, 7 Democrats. But Bob Hoffman, would you stand up, hon?
Hey, Bob.
So Bob did something today, and he did something last week. He did resolutions, and they're very unhappy with him, the leadership. He put in 2 resolutions that will make sure that if this ballot initiative fails, seniors and those with disabilities will still have a ride, and I can't thank you enough, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
And he put another one in today that will make sure that they protect all of us, that the rules were actually made for when Larry Obrecht and I were commissioners, and Brooks had his staff write up the rules and the laws. It is simply untrue. How we get the word out, I don't know. Bob wrote a letter to the editor. I wrote a letter to the editor. Jim Runstead wrote a letter to the editor to try to make this clear. I have not seen any of them printed yet by the mainstream media. It will take the grassroots to make sure that people know. So the county plan takes away local control. Number one, our local officials are accountable and transparent. The County Board of Commissioners, and you can talk to Bob about it, they ram this thing through. They never talk to the officials in my area. They don't even know we offer rides in this township. We do, but we do it on the money we already get, and for up to 30 times less than what they want. It not only takes away local control, but it's an expansion of taxes, and I don't have a half mile to go up, but it's another half mile. It is the biggest expansion I've ever seen in the 32 years I've been elected and the 10 years I donated my time for local officials. The worst ever. Plus, they do want more money because at the state, they wanted up to 5 mils. This is 0.95, almost 1 mil. So when you think about it, when you go to the grocery store, they have to pay it. The farmers have to pay it. The restaurants have to pay it. The pharmacies have to pay it. Your dentist office, your doctor office. And who will be charged for that?
Us.
You bet, hon. It is a hidden tax to each one of us, and they don't talk about that. And they even get up and say, this is preserving local control. There's nothing further from the truth. I've never seen anything like this in all the years that I've served. So I'm asking you, please let your friends know, Bob Hoffman, he's a commissioner. He's made sure that it will not harm our seniors and those with disabilities. It is simply not true. Absolutely 100% inaccurate. I need your help. The only thing that truly changes government is grassroots. It's you. Government officials do not unless we're really, really pushed to do so. Please call your local officials. Please tell them what you want. Please help us hold local control. And please help stop this 0.95. My township actually conducts all their business except the fire department has their own millage on 0.95. That's how much they want to charge. So thank you for letting me be here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your time and everything that you do to make sure we have a system that will work for not only us, but our kids and our grandkids.
Thank you. Senator Ruth Johnson, thank you. Taxes, evidently, Rick, the mill we're paying for transportation is going to WODA. Is that correct? Is that where it goes? Why don't you come up here and explain what WODA is, why you started it, and how it's going to be affected by this new transit tax. Rick Kowal, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Bob, I missed you today. I'm hoping to see you tomorrow. Okay. Anyways, my name is Rick Kowal. I am the White Lake Township Supervisor, and I am one of the founders of WODA, West Oakland Transportation Authority. What is WODA? WODA was a brainchild of myself and Rick Hamill of Highland Township, because we're talking a very strange thing here. I always remember a Seinfeld episode where worlds colliding. Okay, where he goes around, jumps around saying, worlds colliding, worlds colliding. Well, common sense in government. Worlds colliding, worlds colliding. Well, one day my buses are passing his buses, and I'm going, why is this happening? We're both in the same area. I'm seeing the buses go. One thing led to another. One of my buses broke down. I needed a ride. He picked up. We started talking. Presto changeo. 3 years later, we formed an organization called WODA. We offered a lot of other communities around us to join it. They chose not to. It's their choice, but they're welcome to at any time. But we did it for 2 reasons. Number one, to meet the needs of our residents, which is first and foremost important, seniors and disabled. Even if you have a young person that broke their foot and couldn't get to work, we would take them because they're temporarily disabled. So we felt the need to do it, and we felt there was redundance in services because we had 2 different dispatches, 2 different groups of people. We combined all that. We have one particular group that works, and as we're putting this together, Gary Wall from Waterford stands up and goes, hey, that makes sense to me. So he joined WODA. So Waterford, White Lake, and Highland are all members of WODA. Now, what does Waterford, White Lake, and Highland have in common with all 3 of the supervisors? We were all in the construction business one way or another, and we were all in business pulling the freight. So we understand what it's like to get out there and beat the rails every day and try to make it work. So it just made common sense. Now, I'm going to pose this question to you. If you in your infinite wisdom wanted to have a countywide transportation plan, would you or would you not have picked up the phone, sent a text, sent an email, set up a smoke signal, something to someone in your county who has some experience at doing this?
I voted yeah.
Good. Back to common sense again. I would have done it. Yeah, okay. We never received so much as a postcard from anyone in the planning stages of this. And come to find out, according to SMART, and the letter that went out from one of their cogs of their wheel, that there really, at this moment, isn't a plan, but once the millage passes, there'll be a plan. Well, does that sound like Obamacare?
Ooh, man, dangerous.
I'm also a member of OCATS, and if those of you who are not familiar with this, it's Oakland County Townships Supervisors Association. There's 23, I think, supervisors there. And I'm kind of speaking in a sense on their behalf because we've had this understanding of how it's going to impact all of our communities. And Ruth, thank you very much, because I know exactly what you're talking about. How we got mentioned in it was because there's NOTA, which is a North Oakland County Transportation Authority, WOTA, and then there's the other one, the acronym is escaping me right now.
OPC.
Thank you. And we were just existing, and they knew that because we were a Public Act 196 authority that they had to deal with us, okay? But here's an interesting thing. This all boils down to a math problem, okay? At a meeting that I was at, and Mr. Hoffman was at with me, we had a conversation that with one of the persons there at the county, and they said, well, what does it take to operate your organization? I said, it takes us roughly $1.6 million to run our operation annually. And that's through money, through contributions, direct contributions out of general fund dollars from our townships, and not to mention multiple grants. We pursue grants like a hound. So a tremendous amount of our money comes from different types of grants all over the board. So the cost to our taxpayers, currently costing White Lake Township $220,000, will end up costing us, I don't know, 1.3 million. Waterford is paying $225,000 or $235,000, will end up costing them $2.3 million. Highland Township is paying $185,000 a year contribution, will cost them $899,000. Do the math, okay? It doesn't add up. And when we have a $1.6 million budget on our organization, and we handle the select group of people that we handle right now, for all of a sudden for this to become what I call a full public transportation, they want to allocate us $2 million. If we have to do a minimum of doubling in size, that's $3.2 million. They're funding it to fail. So they're stepping into a realm of which they should leave to the individual townships and communities to service the residents the way that we do. There is transportation in your community. There's transportation up in Holly. There's transportation in multiple communities. And if SMART disappeared tomorrow, well, that'd be a tax savings for all of us. Okay? And we would still have transportation. So $660 million over 10 years is a big number. And I think we just need to all be aware of that, pass it along, and try to educate people that we know. It's very, very important to know that issue and understand it and get it out there. That's the only way it's going to make sense. Thanks.
Good job. Rick Kowal, thank you so much.
Nice presentation.
Very good. And, you know, this is the stuff you don't hear about, WOTA and all the other things like that. I thought it would be very good also to get the perspective from business who are affected by these property taxes. So fortunately, we have Forey Millslow here. Forey, where are you? There we go. Forey is the son of Forrest, and also an excellent golfer, I must add. And you know, they own not only Deer Lake, but other properties. So tell me, Forey, how does property taxes and increases in property taxes affect your business?
Matt, oops, sorry. Matt, it's pretty easy. Matt and I enjoy golfing together. By no means am I an expert golfer, but my father could probably produce as an employee bonus towards me, an excellent membership to the Warwick Hills Country Club with a yearly membership. Oops, what was that?
Closer to the mic.
Okay. My father could probably have a Warwick Hills membership for Matt and I, bought and paid for with the increase of 0.95 mils. Matt and I would also have free lessons at the Warwick Hills Country Club to improve our golf game. And in a direct fashion, my father has to produce menus in his restaurant because taxes are going up, insurance is going up, employee costs are going up. We would have to sit around there and have a catalog of price increases to justify our costs to pass along to the customers that my father in turn would have to pay on his properties. I find it incomprehensible that we would put forth such an agenda of disinformation with business people, such as my father, employees that work for a business person, to the general public. And I'd like to use a little bit of humor here to kind of drive home the point of the idiocy of this. When I was in Nairobi, Kenya, I saw excellent public transportation. The folks literally rode on the roofs of the buses. They hung on the mirrors of the buses. They went everywhere by public transportation. If this millage does happen to pass, I hope my father has a theme bus stop out there with a tennis court on it. And, you know, maybe we could sprinkle a few places around Lake Angeles to create an environment for people to be picked up at. You know, a nautical theme. I love to hunt. Maybe I could have a bus stop that could also be used as a camouflage blind for turkey hunting, deer hunting, anything along that line, because it would just take that amount of humor to get my dad's, you know, who's that comedian? The heart attack moment to get through this increase in taxes. Thank you. And I just have to use humor because of the stupid ideas put forth by the county commission. Since we no longer have Brooks Patterson with us, folks, who was the elephant in the room that pretty much squished all these stupid ideas, we really have to be vigilant on a grassroots level because Brooks is no longer there to cover our hides. We used to be able to take that for granted. Now we don't. We have Ruth, we have Runstead, and that's about it, folks. So wish everybody luck that votes for this tax, because, boy, we're going to jam you when that tax bill hits your dinner tab, your bar tab, your rent, and anything else that we provide for you.
Thank you, Forey. And again, thank you to you guys for letting us be here at Deer Lake. So we've talked about the wonders of this new transit proposal, and the thing I wanted to sort of end it up with for this topic is what we can do about it and who is doing something about it. We actually have somebody here, Shane Trejo, who's created Stop taxing our property. Shane, what is STOP and how can we stop this transit tax?
Okay, I'm happy to tell you. We have founded Stop Taxing Our Property. We did hand out some signs. We have our literature there. The website is stoptaxingourproperty.com. So check that out. And more information right now. We're doing, phone banking, getting the word out, putting the lit pieces that we have up front into, different lit bags, getting it out to as many people as possible so that that, they can understand exactly what's going on and they can tell their neighbors. And one thing that we have released recently was our alternative blueprint for transit in Oakland County, because a lot of times what they like to say is on the left that we don't have any ideas, we just want to throw a wrench in what they're trying to do. We have no constructive solutions, but I strongly disagree. There are things that we could do if it is necessary, if it is needed. There are things that we can do that would provide transit solutions that would be way cheaper and less bureaucratic, and utilize technology that's developing, rather than kind of invest in an antiquated transit system that's already obsolete and will only be getting worse in the near future and less viable in the near future. So at STOP, we put together a proposal calling for microtransit. And microtransit it's a concept that encompasses small-scale, on-demand public transit services that are tailored to the need of the individual. So think, Uber and Lyft and services like that. They call them ride-sharing services. These have become very prevalent. People enjoy them. And they've been subsidized in different cities. They're already being subsidized to a certain extent in Oakland County and through SMART. So there is a kind of a precedent that's been set here, and it's just getting off the ground, and it's already gaining more market share and gaining more share of the transit. And there are different services right now that have been founded, different startups that have been founded to provide these services, to build the infrastructure through the private sector. One of these services is known as VIA. VIA Transportation was founded in 2012 to kind of be a competitor to Uber, but they stopped doing Uber-type services and went fully into transit because, especially after COVID-19, there's a huge influx of support for microtransit and for personalized rider services being provided rather than having fixed routes and transit the way it's been done for generations and never been viable, and it's less viable now than ever before. And VIA is already worth $3.3 billion. So investors are taking notice. They understand. They are seeing which way the wind is blowing, and it's not blowing in the way of fixed rail transit, bus transit. It's going in the direction of using technology and ride-sharing services and subsidizing them to provide the transit that people need. Another different service that provides transit is called Share Mobility, and this is able to pool different riders who are going to similar areas like the suburbs into, for example, more densely populated cities, and they're able to pool those rides and schedule them ahead of time, and they're able to provide transportation at much cheaper than even Uber and Lyft can. So there are these different entities that are rising up to fill the void, as transit fails, as it becomes, check out on the flyer, tens of billions of dollars in the red because of COVID, and has not improved since then. It's only getting worse and worse. So now these private sector entities are developing to solve the problem. Uber Transit has been founded, specifically a subset of Uber that will do everything that they can to build the infrastructure so that they can supplant mass transit and the bureaucracy that has failed so thoroughly everywhere it's been tried. So private corporations are already building the infrastructure. If we want to pursue these sort of solutions, There's already been a lot of testing and a lot of data showing that it works, how it works. We have cities, we can study different cities and how they are being implemented there. But this transit tax was pushed from the top down, consulted when these proposals came to be. They were thrust upon localities, and if you were at the event on Monday in Novi, you saw Dave Woodward shilling for the transit tax, and he admitted that it's going to completely circumvent local control. It's designed to totally take the municipalities and the people's voice out of it and give absolute power to the county commission for how this money will be spent. And they're ultimately going to dictate, on a whim, they haven't given a plan at all, on a whim how they're going to spend this money. So no matter how you're looking at it, the transit tax is something that we need to reject. Vote no on it, tell other people to vote no on it, and then we can have a study group. We can commission, actually looking into microtransit, how it can be implemented, because that's the wave of the future. There's going to be a lot of technological advancement it's already came, but it's going to be intensifying in the years to come. May not be great for us in a lot of ways, maybe frightening in some ways, but it does have the potential to make government more efficient. So we have to embrace that when developing solutions on issues like transit, and that's what we need to do after we reject the transit tax, look into developing technological-based solutions and be prudent in how we're spending our resources and not just mad last-second rush to tax us and to give the county commission more control. So check out stoptaxingourproperty.com, and we have already given out over 10,000 of these flyers to people. We've gotten them hanged on a lot of doors, handed out at a lot of doors. We're going to have actual door hangers next that will be, a little bit more easy to digest for people, so you can go door to door and hang it right on the door. And we have signs. The signs have gone like hotcakes. So the more funds that we have, the more signs we can get out, the more lit pieces we can get out, radio ads, social media. These are all things that we're looking to do. So check out stoptaxingourproperty.com. You can donate there, or you can talk to Amber Harris, and she will badger you to donate as well. It's what she does best. So thank you, everybody, and we appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you. And it's on Jim Tino's Facebook. Thank you.
Hey, Shane, who do I make the check out to for to help you?
Jim Tino.
Stop?
Stop taxing our property.
I can just make it out to STOP?
That should work.
Cash. He likes cash.
He wants the cash. Okay. Shane Trejo, are there questions anybody has here for the?